Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Market Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Toronto, Consensus 2025 by CoinDesk. Joining me for this segment, we have Gaydos, the CEO of Enron, and we are here to discuss a fresh approach to the energy market that meets the demand that we're seeing from emerging technologies, AI, and cryptocurrency. It is great to have you with us, Connor. Welcome to Trade Talks. Enron.
Yes,
Enron. I was in trading prior to transitioning over to media, so we know the story really well.
Right.
You were a kid when Enron blew up. So tell us, what's the genesis? What's the story behind you taking the brand and looking to, try a new strategy with it?
I've always believed that Enron was a great company. I've always believed that there were great people that worked at Enron that were actually trying to solve problems. And I think that Enron's brand is still very strong today. It might have negative public perception, but I believe that we can turn that into good. I view Enron as a redemption story in the age of the internet. So viewing our brand and our logo as an opportunity to sort of shine a bat signal up to the sky and say, look, we have major problems in this country, in the United States. What are those problems? I believe that the main problem we have is that our energy grid is not going to be able to sustain the amount of power that's about to be put onto it in the next 3 to 5 years. And so there's a lot of people that talk about these great, technologies, AI, electric cars, even crypto. But unless we can fix the grid first, we're going to be having more blackouts. There's going to be more issues than we've seen in the last 100 years. And so I believe that Enron's mission is to gain attraction, gain attention through our brand, attract really, really smart people to us, and then actually fix these problems for real.
Yeah, strategy. You might, reach out to Enron, really. Yeah. You might get called back because I'm curious to see what the strategy is about. You bring up a great point, though. The technology is evolving much more quickly than regulation, and certainly the grids can keep up. You're based in Texas. You're certainly very well aware of the issues as a result of the grids there. And to your point, it takes so long to get these projects online. You have permitting, you have policy, you have regulation. It takes a good 8 to 10 years. We don't have 8 to 10 years because innovation just continues to evolve, and we're launching all these new products.
Yeah.
How do you expect to meet that demand in a more efficient way?
I think what we're able to do with the Enron brand is to kind of part the Red Sea, cut through the noise. There's a lot of people out there that have really, really, really cool products, but they're unable to get through the attention barrier that exists right now in social media. And so with Enron, it's a beautiful logo. The logo was designed by Paul Rand, who designed the IBM logo, the UPS logo. This is one of America's greatest icons. And I think that because of that, we're going to be able to leverage that to attract really, really smart people to then actually be able to solve these problems. Because having an idea is just an idea. Having a great product is just a great product. That's all it is. You need to be able to actually get mass attention, to be able to get everyone united around your common vision and say, look, without the grid, this is all over. Without a sustainable grid for the 21st century, none of this is going to be possible. None of our grand initiatives are going to be possible. And so we've attracted some really, really talented people, and we're just about to obtain our certificate in Texas to be able to sell retail electricity down there. We're acquiring land outside of Dallas to start to build a battery farm, to be able to sustain the grid during peak load hours. And solar and wind are great. But because they're so large and part such a large amount of land, they're unable to sustain that peak load between 6 and 9 p.m. when everyone gets home and turns on their toaster at the same time. And so in the past, coal and natural gas were able to sort of fill in the gap there. But because it's uneconomic for them to exist during the day when solar and wind are just providing very cheap energy, they've been shut down. And so every day they're being shut down and there's nothing replacing them. And so we feel that our battery farms are going to be able to fill the gap between the solar and wind in the day and the lack of solar and wind at night. So they're going to be able to store energy during the day and then deliver it to Texans at night.
So is that the solution? Is that the product that you're offering?
It's a step in the right direction. Right. Yeah. We're interested in any technology that is mainstream, that is viable, that has mass public support behind it. We're not interested in turning poop into power. We're interested in taking real technology, these lithium batteries that have been developed in the last few years. The technology behind them is incredible. And so we're going to be able to take that and leverage that for Texans and ultimately Americans.
Are you partnering with other companies, or is this something that's organic that you're developing?
We've had some really, really smart people actually reach out to us since launching and say, look, I want to leave the company that I work at. I'm going to leave my company and come build this with you because I believe in the redemption story of Enron. I believe that Enron can become not just a real company again, but can become a major player in the energy market. And so that's been a really, really exciting thing for me as a 28-year-old lanky dude from Arkansas who's the CEO of Enron. Never thought I'd say that. But you go to Thanksgiving and my grandma's asking my brother what he does, and he's a doctor, and I'm the CEO of Enron. So
your family has a lot to be proud of.
Thank you.
More practically speaking, because of course, we have to ask about the fundamentals of the company. What differentiates your product? When do you expect it to be available for mainstream use? Because to your point before, it takes a lot to get these energy products online.
Right. I think we've seen it. I think we've seen the response to Enron.
Right.
I mean, if our company had been named just, Normal Person Energy Incorporated, then I feel like it's very difficult to gain attention in that way. You have to really, like I've said, you have to cut through the noise. You have to understand mimetic marketing in the age of the internet, which is something that we've done really well. A lot of our business is really built around storytelling. It's built around developing and building memes.
Right.
That's why Donald Trump has been able to do what he's been able to do.
Right, and that's great. And I understand the brand and the storytelling. I mean, that's important to have for any brand to be successful these days. But when is your product going to be available? When is it going to be mainstream? When is it going to satisfy this demand?
Yes.
That's the question.
Right.
Well, in 3 years, 5 years.
So we're hoping to get our ERCOT, our Electrical Regulatory Council of Texas, approval in Texas in the next 3 months. So we're in the final stages of that. We've satisfied all of the requirements. We're just waiting on that final stamp to become the first new retail energy business in Texas in almost 5 years since that ice storm in 2021. Right. And so if we can do that, then we're going to be able to sell electricity in the next 3 to 6 months.
So you have the fiscal infrastructure in place, is my question.
Yes.
And so what's next after that?
Batteries. We're going to take this lithium battery technology and scale it for Texans and then ultimately the United States. And from there, we're just going to really focus on doing those things really, really well. So we're going to focus on those things first. We're going to become masters of them. And we're going to hopefully start to take chunks out of the market. In Texas, the local market in Texas has about 10 million homes that are powered on the deregulated grid. And we think that the options are not great right now. People have, I'm not going to call any company out, but I don't think that there is a good relationship formed when you have a power company, powering your life. And we believe that relationship should be different. It should be more transparent. You should have more transparency on pricing. It should be cheaper. And ultimately, you should enjoy the experience that you have with this fundamental.
It won't necessarily be utility. I mean, it would be utility.
It is the utility. I mean, there's nothing that says utility like electricity.
Fair. Well, it would be an interesting turnaround story. With Enron,
thank
for
you.
sure.
It's happening in real time.
Look forward to seeing how that gets executed. Appreciate your insight,
Thanks,
Connor.
Jill.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
And thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.